It's getting towards the end of the season, which means three things. One, we can look forward to cup finals and seeing who wins silverware this year. Two, team and individual accolades are to be awarded. And three, we can now start to turn our attention to the World Cup in Russia. I mean, yeah, it's in Russia, but hopefully what happens on the pitch will be talked about more than what happens off the pitch. But maybe that's another video for another day. But this video is going to be focusing on individual accolades, and in particular, we're going to be looking at what I think will be the nominees for the Manager of the Year award, an award that usually is given to the manager who guides their team into winning the Premier League title. Although, due to recent events, it could very well go to Harry Kane. Is that joke old and overused yet? Okay, good. Let's move on. But on the odd occasion, a manager can stand out who hasn't won the title. And this year, there may be a couple of good candidates who may take this accolade. So without further ado, let's begin. And my number one nominee, none other than Pep Guardiola. The Spaniard has been in charge of City for 2 seasons now, and whilst his first season was seen as experimental and his first taste of English football, this season he definitely got the right formula that saw his Manchester City side crowned as champions. He identified that the Claudio Bravo experiment didn't work, so instead spent a lot of money on bringing in Ederson, a goalkeeper who is used like an outfield player with how good he is with the ball at his feet, and giving it a genuine 11-a-side feel to the game, rather than 10 outfield players and then just a goalkeeper. His recruitment defensively of the likes of Kyle Walker, Danilo and Laporte were applauded, having identified that the City side of last year had an ageing defence, particularly in the fullback positions. And whilst Benjamin Mendy missed out on the majority of the season due to injury, they have adapted well, and when he returns next season, it will feel like having a new player. A Carabao Cup to his name as well, but disappointment in both the FA Cup and Champions League competitions have slightly tainted their season as a whole, along with being undefeated in the league till they met Liverpool in January, and then most recently losing to bitter rivals Manchester United. But all in all, a much improved team this season, playing some of the most breathtaking football seen, and with him winning the league, like I said, he is definitely a front runner for this award. Next on the list is Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp. The transformation at Liverpool under the German has been huge. Liverpool were goal shy, they were underperforming, they were boring, but since he took over, he's turned them into an extremely entertaining side who are performing at or even sometimes above expectation on a more consistent basis. And there are plenty of goals to see as well. This season they've continued that development, and who knows, maybe if Virgil van Dijk had signed in the summer, perhaps they would have ended up being closer to Manchester City than they currently are. They are getting there though, they're getting closer and closer to being title contenders, and are probably just 2 or 3 players from making that happen. But when you consider that he sold one of their key and top class players in Philip Coutinho, brought in players and helped them grow and evolve and play better than anyone would have imagined, and helped them to what we can possibly assume is a top 4 finish and a run in the Champions League final that saw them get through to the semi-final stages, this man well and truly has to be within the discussion. The bargain of the season, possibly in Andrew Robertson at left back for just 8 million from Hull, plus the further development of Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino, who are now partnered with Mohamed Salah, who for 36.5 million looks like a real bargain after his phenomenal season, are all points in Klopp's favour. My third nominee would be Rafael Benitez, a club with a crazy life at the top of the club's hierarchy. Benitez has to be applauded for doing so well and going about his business with such a small squad. A squad in which on paper still looks like a bit of a championship squad in all honesty. It's been a tough season for the Magpies as events off the pitch have overshadowed the incredible work of Benitez and his players, who have managed to pull off a great season and are now likely safe from relegation. Jacob Murphy, Christian Atsu and Florian Lejeune were the major additions in the summer and have all played their part in Newcastle's Premier League survival, along with loan signing Kennedy, who despite only joining in January, he looks a real decent player, and I'm sure he'll be a player that Benitez is looking to make a permanent signing of. The Magpies currently sit in the top half of the table in 10th, and the likelihood of them climbing to 8th is a genuine possibility, and something that Benitez could build upon in the future. Imagine how well this guy could do if he was allowed to spend money and bring in the players he wanted this summer. My fourth nominee would be Burnley's Sean Dyche. Like Benitez, this man has had so little but managed to turn it into so much, and has created and developed more than what anyone was possibly expecting this season. Currently occupying 7th spot, European football at Turf Moor next season looks a genuine possibility, with 5 games to go and only 2 points that separate them and Arsenal in 6th. Jack Cork and Chris Wood have been the standout additions as far as their transfer recruitment goes over the past year, and regardless of whether they get into Europe or not, it's been an incredible campaign for the Clarets, one they'll be keen to build upon for next season. And in saying that, Sean Dyche has to be like Pep Guardiola, a front runner for this award. Chris Hughton of Brighton and Eddie Howe of Bournemouth would also be on my list of nominees. Both have overachieved at their respective clubs this season. Brighton's first season in the Premier League has been a successful one, having seen off relegation pretty early for a newly promoted side, and enjoyed a decent season, showing no fear and going about their business in a professional way, not seeking attention, just getting on with the job at hand. And they've probably won over a lot more fans this season of other clubs, which is nice to see. Whilst Bournemouth's campaign hasn't shown much progression, but again, with such a small squad, they have achieved big by now seemingly becoming, for now anyway, a permanent fixture in England's top tier division. Those would be my 6 nominees, but I can also see Jose Mourinho will probably be thrown into the mix as well. I don't really know why personally. Yes, he may finish second, and with the possibility of ending with an FA Cup winners medal, but to me, the others I have selected here deserve it more. But I could be wrong. After all, this is just one man's opinion. What do you think? Do you like my choices? Would you change any of them, and for what reasons? Who do you think will win the award? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up on the way out if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And I will see you in the next video.